Hello, everyone. Welcome to another review from Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Steven. I'm joined today by Austin, Alex, and Jack. And we are here to review Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. I know it came out a long time ago, but here we are. We haven't reviewed it yet. We're behind schedule. So here we go. We're repenting. We're reviewing it. First, we're going to have our spoiler-free section, and then our spoiler section after that, after we give our scores. So, Jack, why don't we start with you, man?
My impressions of the movie was actually I liked it more than the first one, part one of this.
Okay.
So, just because it was a lot more action-oriented, it did have some gut-wrenching scenes of, like, I don't want to go into it, but there was just one scene where it's kind of the water and oh my gosh, so it's just panic-inducing almost. But yeah, I liked it. I mean, I thought it was a good action flick. It's kind of a lot of action. Is more, I think the first part was where all the kind of the story and build-up happened, and the second was just everything kind of going to crap and them having to kind of go into action. I say it was happened in May, so my memory is a little bit hazy. We need to do these sooner, but
Agreed. Agreed.
I would say I enjoyed it. It was a good action flick. I mean, nothing to really blow your socks off or something, but I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. I'll chime in next, just because I'm the opposite. I think I enjoyed part one better than this part two movie. And not to say that it didn't have great action sequences like you're saying, Jack. I think it really did. And the stunts in this movie were incredible. Like Tom Cruise, you're not dead yet. I don't know how you're not dead yet, but you're not dead yet.
The guy's never gonna die.
Jeez.
He's one of those immortal actors like Morgan Freeman and
like
Will Smith.
He just will not die, but he keeps doing these crazy stunts that are so cool. So cool.
He's just flaunting his like immortality at us.
The vampire meme.
I can make a good movie until I'm dead.
Yeah.
For real, everything he's in, like, it's all practical. He does everything, does his own stunts still. And I think he's in his 60s now, right? Isn't he in his 60s? Like, geez.
I think he's like 63.
Jeez. Anyway.
Yeah. I can't wait
absolutely incredible.
The reckoning is to come out soon.
Yes. I loved it. It was great. My only issue with it is I felt like the tension was missing. The tension was missing in this one. I didn't feel like I was at the edge of my seat like I have in past Mission Impossible movies. Even part one, I was on the edge of my seat a bit. But this one, I don't know why. I felt comfortable in my seat the whole time, even though my eyes were enjoying the eye candy of the stunts and the action, and it was all great and fun. But I didn't feel that tension that I wanted to feel, that I typically feel in most Mission Impossible movies. So I will leave it at that for the spoiler-free section. Alex, how about you, my friend? How did you feel? Are you siding with Jack, or are you siding with me?
It's gonna be fun.
There's the right answer,
because I'm gonna be like a middle ground between you two.
No.
Well, I will just put it this way. I thought the movie was good. Adding to what you said, we don't get many action films like this anymore, where it's just straight up practical effects, real in-person stunts. This is something about the films that are very good and worth checking out. As far as how I compare it to the other one, this is basically where I stand. I feel the first half of this movie was better, whereas the second half of the first movie was better. So the final act in the part one I thought was a lot better, whereas the setup and beginning of this one was better. So I kind of have them both measured equal in that way. There's a lot I do want to say, but I'll save it for the spoiler part.
Nice. All right, Austin, we'll end it with you, man.
All right. Well, I have kind of a unique experience because I have not seen the first part. I remember we actually ended up watching. We ended up. I think it was Steve. You showed me one of those recap videos and just like bring you up to speed.
And
so
you saw it on the D-box seat.
Yes,
yes,
I was the only one. I was the only one in our group that was experiencing, and I think this was the perfect movie for it. For all of the action scenes, It's phenomenal. I'll talk about it later in the spoiler section, but I'd have to agree with a little bit of what both Alex and Steve were saying with regards to this movie. Obviously, I can't really put it up against the first movie, but I can put it up against a lot of the other Mission Impossibles. And let's be honest, it kind of goes through the exact same high stakes, action packed. If you don't have Tom Cruise sprinting through 6 continents, then driving a motorcycle off a cliff one-handed while fighting a bad guy midair, only to have seconds left to defuse a nuclear bomb with an infinitesimally small percentage of it, pulling this off, then are you even watching a Mission Impossible movie? Let's be honest, it's kind of a misnomer. It should be Mission Improbable, because with how many sequels we have of these outrageous high stakes missions, I'm beginning to think it's not actually impossible, but I could do it. Really, I could do it 9 times.
I can do it 9 times.
Only possible for Tom Cruise. That's what it is.
Right. How many times have they done it? It's almost 9, right? It's been 7.
I think this is 8. I think this one's 8.
Yeah, I think this is number 8.
Number 8. No.
But so supposedly stopping after this one, but supposedly may possibly not. I doubt it. But
yeah. Where I think I would disagree though is I was actually on the edge of my seat. Some of these scenes, as Stealth mentioned, with the underwater scenes, I was literally holding my breath. The plane sequence where Tom Cruise was doing all of his own stunts, but of course he had a harness on, but it was so cool. And knowing that he did that too, going into the movie, knowing that, you just really appreciate it a lot more. The theatrics were great. The sound design, the visuals was phenomenal. And, it felt very true to the Mission Impossible series, for better or for worse. It's just, to me, it felt like more of the same. There was one moment where I actually missed a chunk of the show because I had to go to the bathroom. I think I just drank way too much water and ran out, and I came back and I was like, guys, what happened? Actually,
you mean that
after
that water scene didn't make you want to use the bathroom?
I almost again. I almost had to go again. It was, but
it made him use the bathroom.
Long movie.
Right. It was a long movie, and it had some really emotional moments too that we'll get into. So overall, I really enjoyed it. Sorry, did we give our score? Or has everyone
said
their scores?
But
Not yet.
We'll start.
I can start. How's that?
Start with you, man.
So for this movie, I would probably rank it a 7 out of 10.
Nice.
That's a fair score. How about you, Jack?
I'd give it a 7.5.
All right. How about you, Alex?
I'll give it an 8.
I was actually thinking about giving it an 8 myself.
Woo!
So that gives the Simply Nerdy official Simply Nerdy score of 7.6 out of 10.
That's a good score.
Yeah.
That does not mean it's a bad movie.
Nope.
It's definitely respectable.
I would almost argue that it's one of those movies that you should really experience in the theater. It's kind of a shame that it's not going to be the case for a lot of people. But
if you're watching this, you haven't seen it in theaters yet, I'm sorry.
And D-Box too.
Little late to go see it right now.
Yeah.
You can purchase it though.
Go to your
So
local dollar theater. They might have it.
So if you haven't seen it yet, this is the time to go away. But come back after you see it for a spoiler section. I'm going to start off by defending myself when I said there was no tension. What I meant by that was the whole time you knew that the entity or the AI was going to try to start this nuclear war and shoot all the nuclear missiles at all of the different continents in the world. But deep down that it's not going to launch any of those missiles. It's not going to launch any of those missiles. So the whole time you're like, "Yay, it's getting close," but they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So
couldn't you make that same argument for all of the Mission Impossible movies, though?
No.
Why not?
No, because some of them end in tragedy. I mean, this one has some tragic moments too, and some characters die.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like a half win, where you stop the bad guy, but also you don't quite stop the bad guy.
So
and it goes on to the next one. But this one, look, there's no one's going to die.
I'll say something to add to what Steve was saying there. Like to Austin's point. What about? Can't you say about the other ones? I would agree to that. But I was just talking to somebody about a counter example here. I don't know if anyone's here seen Oppenheimer, but it's a movie about nuclear bombs, and that movie doesn't end where everybody dies, but it ends and it leaves you feeling sick and stuff. Like that movie did it right. Whereas Mission Impossible, you're just like, yay, the stuff happened and everyone's safe, and you
the good guys win.
So, yeah,
and there was much rejoicing.
Yay!
I mean, I guess I'll agree with you, Steve, that they put the stakes so high that they literally couldn't lose because they lost the Earth to be destroyed. So
yes, exactly.
So here's my question: if the movie would have ended where they lost, would you think it's better?
Yes.
That would actually be a welcome surprise almost.
Maybe not. But it would have been nice to have at least a couple of nukes go off.
Hey, it would be nice to have a mission that literally wasn't possible,
Yes, that too.
Yes. That's a good point.
I don't want millions of people to die. Okay, it's not like me saying, whatever.
I see what you're saying.
I'm digging myself in a hole now.
No,
I know. Sorry, Steven.
I'm
you
gonna
now
be quiet
condone.
now.
You now want nuclear war, Steven. We know.
But like you're saying, though,
I don't like it. No.
But like you're saying, though, even if he could have prevented like 90% of the nukes, and then maybe one of them had ended in like almost a more personal tragedy for him, for Tom Cruise's character,
Right.
like maybe that would have had more of an impact. I don't know.
Or even if the nukes were launched and then like an Ant-Man situation,
like Iron Giant,
where you're like you're deactivated in mid-flight and they land in the ocean.
if the nukes would have launched and it would have gone that direction, it would have just fed into Austin's. They went to every decibel point.
Yes.
It's almost like I'm surprised they didn't launch just so Tom Cruise couldn't disarm them in the air. Yeah.
Tom Cruise rides a missile, dude. The other missiles to disarm the missile.
A little slingshot.
Yeah, seriously, right?
Anyway, that's my point.
I'll go
We
next.
talked about the water a bunch. Yeah.
I'll go next. So I'll talk about what I thought was the good and what I thought was the bad.
Okay.
Because I have one scene that didn't sit well with me, but I'll start with the good. So I think the scene where he was in the submarine, that whole 30-minute sequence where he's in the submarine and the submarine is spinning slowly on the bottom of the ocean floor, and it's heading towards this cliff, and he has to climb in, what do you call it, where they load the missiles. But like this is the scene where I wish I had a D-box seat like Austin. Because holy crap, that scene not only do I think was one of the best scenes in the whole franchise, I think that's one of the best scenes in the action genre. Like that whole scene was awesome, on a technical level, tension, everything. It was just like, ooh, this is what they were going for with this movie. This is clearly what the writers had an idea for a long time, and they put it down there because it just paid off so well. Just so good, that whole scene. But then I'm not trying to tear the scene down, but all I know is that the movie had a knack in, like what Austin said, is getting to the point of ridiculous where it's hard to believe. Because like when he was just getting pulled down the ocean from the submarine, I'm like, the scene was like amazing, and now I'm having a rough time believing it.
Yes.
Like he's getting pulled, he has to take off his suit, and he's like on the bottom of not just the ocean, we're talking an Arctic Ocean, and he has to swim half a mile up. No.
That was it.
Wouldn't the pressure alone, I think, would have just
the pressure would have
I was
crushed.
thinking that whole time when it's falling. I'm like, should this pressure be like destroying him right now?
The problem was they literally had a whole plot describing why he needed that suit in order to ascend. And he gets rid of the suit. And I'm like, so he doesn't need the suit. Like
that's why it's Mission Impossible. He breaks the laws of physics.
Right. And on top of having to get pulled down in an ocean that crushes you, with waters with temperature so cold, he would only be able to swim for probably 50 seconds. He has to swim half a mile up, and then he has to curl up in a ball and hibernate underwater and like die like for a minute so they can revive him. I'm like, this is like entering like biblical stuff, man. Like but that's not even the bad part for me. I don't want to take away from the submarine scene. I thought the submarine scene was awesome.
Yes.
So I'll go to the scene that I thought was bad.
Wait. Before you move on, I just have to throw my 2 cents about.
Go ahead.
I agree with everything you said. That the whole sequence was great. That part did have tension, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But my only issue with it was, at the end when he got rid of the suit and he only had to swim this much to get back to the surface. I swear he didn't have to go too far. Even though
what do you mean this much? He literally had to swim like a mile.
I couldn't tell.
No,
he got to the surface
when that sub sank, and basically before the sub sank, he had to go down a while. And then the sub sank. On top of that, he had to swim like, I swear, half a mile to a mile.
Yes.
Like it was.
It didn't seem like it. They should have had that last a little bit longer, or show a little bit more of the distance. Because when they showed him reaching the surface so fast, I was like, "There's no way he got to the surface that fast."
Oh well, no, they were just using movie magic, trying to say
movie magic,
cutting that. But still, it did show the distance, and trust me, the distance was like, you're like, no.
Okay. All right, continue. Go to the bad part.
So the bad part. So funny story. I had a buddy of mine at work who watched the movie around the same time I did. And he pulled me aside. He's like, I want to talk about Mission Impossible with you. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And he brought up the same exact problem I had with it. And he was like, there was something at the end that made me kept laughing because I thought it was so stupid. And when he described it to me, I'm like, yeah. So the final sequence where he's on the plane. I'm not trying to tear that scene down. And there's parts about it I liked, but let me just put it into perspective here. I understand that if you want to raise the stakes for a movie, sometimes you got to put the hero in an unpredictable scenario, right? Yes. The problem with the plane scene at the very end is Tom Cruise was so unprepared for everything there. He was not prepared to fly. He was not prepared to jump on a plane, let alone do the same exact thing on a second plane. And the whole scene was almost comical because he's on this plane and he's just awkwardly holding on to his life, as it should be. You're just awkwardly holding on to your life, but he somehow manages to worm his way to the pilot, knock him out, get in the plane, fly to the other plane, and it repeats the sequence. He falls on the plane and has that awkward scene again where he's just, and my buddy's like, I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, what's going on? This is so dumb. And he's sitting there. And not only that, you have a competent villain. They built him to be competent, and he's laughing because he's completely on top. There's not a single thing that Tom Cruise has over this guy. He's completely under his heel, and he just magically gets to him and punches him and does the same thing. And I'm just like, the guy couldn't even stop his punch. The guy had a gun. There's like, what is going on here? It was just like, I've never seen a display of plot armor quite like this.
Yeah.
Like the plot armor was flowing out of his pockets. Like, and then it was just so unbelievable. I was laughing. It was straight up just like, what is going on?
Not to mention the way that the villain died.
Okay, so that scene I laughed hard. but for that scene, okay, I'm glad you brought that up. For such a high IQ 40 chess villain to end him that way was just comical. Like, I just started laughing because it was like I had no response. I'm like, wait, that's how he died? Like,
I was like, oh, that's it?
It was just, that was my only complaint, was that final sequence where he's on the plane. If it was the one plane, maybe I would have bought it. But then when they did it again, and he's just awkwardly fumbling himself, like it's like somebody playing a video game, and you keep pressing A as it helps you. Like, but I will say this, and then to add to that, so I'll say this, and then you guys can take the floor. Is there was a scene right at the end where the plane tilts itself upside down. So Tom Cruise is now hanging. He's hanging, and the villain guy is above him, and his necklace is hanging right above Tom Cruise's face. I was so sure what he was going to have to do is make a choice. Like, I can grab that right now, but I'm going to fall and die. And I thought they were going to do that. He would grab the necklace, fall, hook it up, and then die. I thought that would have been a fantastic ending because it would have been the ultimate sacrifice.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That's what I thought.
It didn't happen. He kills the guy, and then he falls, and he still lives.
Okay, but we have to acknowledge the elephant in the room. I actually like the airplane sequence, mostly when he gets on the second plane because of that 0G in between the wings. It was so cool. I thought that was really cool.
I will give them credit for that was cool.
Yeah, but the villain said that he had the only parachute before he died. There's no other parachute on the plane.
That's exactly.
But somehow, like it looks like he's falling to his death and he's plugging it in. But then he has a parachute, and like, where's the parachute? He just said he had. This guy has a high IQ, like you said, Alex.
Are we forget? Maybe we're forgetting. Like, did they not? When he died, did his parachute like hook onto something? It's unfortunate. It's been a few months because none of us remembers. But I could almost swear they wrote in a reason how he got that, and it's probably from the villain.
I don't think
probably.
so.
Despite that, what you just said there, yeah, that adds to my point. If the guy is the only one with the parachute, it raised the stakes to a real moment of, oh my gosh, is this going to be the moment where he dies? And I'll be honest, Tom Cruise didn't die, and it didn't make it feel like a finale to the franchise to me. Mm-hmm. Like I was Agreed. I feel like we can get a 9th movie now, and I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yes, agreed.
So that's my gripes. Is I think they should have killed him with that sacrifice. I think that would have been a way better, fulfilling ending.
I'm looking up the movie now.
I think we have to assume that Ethan took his parachute then, if that was the only one, right?
That's what I'm assuming. Assuming, but I don't remember how he got it. My theory is there was a brief scene showing when he died. It was like caught onto something, so he quickly threw it on.
Either that or Ethan was actually incredibly prepared and just had one hiding in his jacket. I don't know.
True.
Subverts all expectations, you know.
Pocket parachute.
Again, plot armor.
Yeah.
Plot armor. But I want to reiterate here. We actually did like the movie, guys. I know we're trash talking it right now because there are some loopholes. But overall, we really actually did enjoy this movie.
And to that point, I absolutely love his sidekicks.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You know, we are in the spoiler section, so we can talk about the death of certain people.
Yes.
Luther.
So Luther dies.
Dude, and that broke my heart, man.
I know, me too. I was kind of irritated by it at first. I was like, no, they shouldn't have done that. Why? But
it did have that, which I think was good. Yeah, it was a real scene that paid off. So
yes, and that was one of the one of those emotional moments where you're just like, dang, like you love that guy.
Yes. Oh man.
I also really love the Scottish guy. What's his name?
Yes, me too.
I forget his name. I'm blanking on his name right
Simon
now.
Pegg.
I always think of Shaun of the Dead when he's brought up.
Yeah, Simon Pegg.
Yeah, Simon.
I love Simon Pegg.
See, Simon's hilarious.
I love him and everything he's
good
in.
Cast. The whole cast is pretty likable. They did a good job.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
When Simon had to have surgery with his collapsed lung.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good, actually.
He's like explaining to them
that was a really good sequence, and it looked so painful. And I
Benji,
closed my eyes. Close my eyes. Not showing anything. I can't watch.
Because everyone's like, "Oh no, he's going to lose both Luther and Benji," and that would just be so sad. But the other thing that I thought was really cool was the little twist about the location of what was it? Either a nuclear. Like a submarine or a nuclear missile or something, but it was on like the exact opposite coordinates or something.
The submarine, the Sebastopol.
Yeah.
Sebastopol location, and the guy gave the complete opposite coordinates on the other side of the world for the Russians to find.
That's right.
And that was clever.
I thought that was pretty clever, a cool twist. And I actually, that was one of the parts where I kind of missed it because I stepped out to use the restroom and I came back and I was like, wait, what happened? And that they found out that it was the complete opposite end of the world. But overall, I think it was pretty solid. It's not without its faults, but there are good moments. There are some moments that are definitely worth critiquing. But
I got another question. Was that a satisfying conclusion to the Mission Impossible series?
So I already mentioned I don't think so. I think it was a good conclusion to, let's say, the 2 films. Like, the two films that were kind of on their own.
Yes.
But as I mentioned before, and I don't think it was necessarily bad. The real question is, how well is this action franchise going to age, right? In 10 years, right? That's the real question, because we got correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to think of modern action franchises, and Mission Impossible and John Wick is all that comes to mind. We don't have that many.
James Bond. Jason Bourne.
I'm thinking modern as in like modern,
in the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah,
exactly.
Jason Bourne again. Just kidding. The original trilogy was awesome, but the other ones are kind of.
I think James Bond has some relatively.
It was the last James Bond film.
It's probably 8 years ago, 7.
So it's getting close. Okay, getting close. But to your point, Alex,
I mean, it is
not really many new ones.
Yeah.
Let's see.
ChatGPT.
Oh, it's 2021.
Oh, okay.
No time to die.
There we go.
That was Daniel Craig's final performance.
James Bond feels like an action franchise that doesn't stick around in one decade. It's just infinite. It's been going on forever. That's true.
Well, could Mission Impossible become the new James Bond in that regard?
That's the question, right?
I know they purportedly this is the last Mission Impossible movie, at least maybe with Tom Cruise. I don't believe it. I don't buy it though.
I don't buy it either. If he would have died after that airplane, it would have concluded everything.
So, but I was saying, I think they left it open-ended so they could do more in the future in case, they changed their mind pretty much.
Agreed.
So I don't think Tom Cruise wanted to edit it so way that couldn't make a new one.
Yeah. I'm sure that Hollywood was like, if you can't let Tom Cruise die in case we need to have a money grab.
That's
we have to pull into our pocket. We can't make money on a Mission Impossible movie without Tom Cruise. So you can't kill him off.
Yeah, Tom Cruise will get restless and he'll want to do more stunts and make it.
As long as he's alive, they'll. Yeah,
I'm going to object here and say that this is a rare scenario where it's not so much the studio, but it's Tom Cruise. Because Tom Cruise, I think, actually has some individual power over this franchise that usually actors don't have. And
didn't he produce this one too?
Yeah, something like that. And I honestly think, just throwing this out, I honestly think Tom Cruise is a little big in the head. He likes to show that he is just awesome. And I think the evidence shows that there are so many. I think there were so many unnecessary scenes to see him run in so many of these movies. But I think he wants to prove that, look at me, I'm 63 years old and I'm faster than you all.
Didn't he have a shirtless scene in this movie too?
And he always has a shirtless scene. And the shirtless thing was honestly funny because I'm like, man, Tom Cruise, you look good for 63. I'll give you that, but you look 63.
Yes, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, put your shirt back on.
Just put your shirt on, bro.
That's impressive, but I don't want to see it anymore.
It's impressive, but not really. It's like I honestly think Tom Cruise, when he's like 70, is gonna be like, I can still do it. We got to do another. Don't tell me when I can.
That's what I'm thinking, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's gonna be like, what stunt can we do this time?
Yeah. I think unfortunately we just live in a time where Hollywood and even the consumers, the people, all thrive on sequels and remakes and just all these easy cash grabs. And so, not that Tom Cruise is ever going to run out of money, but there will probably come a time where they will offer him a pretty penny and he won't say no. They'll say, here's an idea, do this really cool stunt. And he'll be like, I haven't done that yet. Yeah, let's do it.
And nothing frustrates me more than a franchise that won't die and too many remakes.
Land Before Time.
That too. There are so many good franchises out there like Brandon Sanderson, who still doesn't have an adaptation because Hollywood is too busy doing remakes and reboots and freaking.
Don't you understand?
Franchises that won't die.
We need to get Harry Potter again.
Again.
Another Harry Potter.
Freaking again.
My goodness.
All I could say is this. If Tom Cruise is watching this, please take our advice here. I've seen it happen with actors that think they can keep going and they kind of embarrass themselves because they go further than they think they can. I think you ended off great. End it there. But if you're going to do this in 10 years, you might embarrass yourself because we're probably going to watch
a different role.
We're probably going to watch a stunt and say, does this feel like a downgrade?
Yeah. Yes.
So slow down, bro. Just retire.
Yes.
Retire while you're on top. Yeah.
I'm sure he'll just ignore all your advice there, Alex.
I'm sure you're absolutely right.
Give yourself a role like Iceman in Top Gun Maverick, where you're doing like a more coaching role.
Yeah, you can act all the way to the
upgrade.
guy. Yes, you
Yes.
can.
Do something like that. Don't be the man who has to do everything yourself.
Don't show
I'd do it for
yourself
that.
sprinting.
I would be thrilled to see him in a cameo in a future like Mission Impossible. Maybe they do what Jason Bourne. Maybe they do what they did with Jason Bourne, and they have a new, the new Ethan. Obviously, he won't be Ethan.
Yes,
but and then Ethan makes a cameo. Something like that.
Yes.
I don't know. I'd be fine with that. But
I guess I'll say my last thing is, what the heck even was his AI in the movie? This is like magic technomancy and stuff. It's like taking over the world, except he doesn't know their plans, even though apparently he simulated literally everything. He simulated every outcome, knew exactly what he's gonna do, but he couldn't.
You would think it would have enough power that it would attract everything. It would have said, "Oh, by the way, the actual coordinates are over there, not over there," or something.
Well, that was for the Russians. That wasn't the entity.
Yeah, that was for the humans. Yeah,
that was for the Russians, so they wouldn't.
Right, but wouldn't the entity have been on the side of helping the Russians? Maybe I don't remember.
I think so. The whole entire thing was that he was saying, "Ethan, you are going to take me to that bunker."
To the bunker.
Yeah, that was the whole point. The problem, though, is he took him to the bunker, and then they trapped him. So I'm like, how did he know he's good? He literally did simulations to know that they were going to take him into the bunker.
That's right.
He couldn't figure out that they were going to trap him in the bunker.
So basically what you're saying is this AI was a modern magic creature. Because when you think of a magic creature back, let's say a genie, you have to create rules for them, 3 wishes, right? They had to create some bullcrap rule of how they can beat this thing. Because realistically, I don't think you could.
No. Yeah. It was literally unstoppable.
Basically unstoppable. So I think that's one thing worth pointing out is that the warning and the whole premise it was trying to point out with AI is a cool one. AI is the modern day boogeyman right now. So it can turn into something very awful if we don't check it.
Yeah.
Or for the record, for the entity out there, don't feel bad that you weren't really a good AI villain, because Ultron was also a bad AI villain, and he was also done very dirty, similar to you. And Ultron came first, so you're just in a long line of bad AI implemented villains. Ultron could have been so much cooler. So much cooler. But oh well. Anyway. Different movie, different franchise. So sorry guys. Yeah. I think
there's our exhaustion again.
I think we're done. Anything else you guys want to add before I wrap it up? We still like the movie.
I'm waiting for Mission Impossible 9 where he fights aliens.
Yeah.
There you go. Pull in Indiana Jones.
Or goes back in time.
Don't do that.
Or that's what I was thinking earlier today, Alex. Or goes back in time.
Goes back in time. We need time traveling in Mission Impossible.
Another impossible mission. Yeah.
And I'll be honest.
Anthony says,
if they just released a trailer and that was the premise, I'd be like, okay, I'm in.
And make it do a crossover of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yes.
Oh,
there you go.
What's going on?
And then it'll have a post-credit scene with Robert Downey Jr. as Doom.
Yes. Yes. Just like Anthony says, whenever you bring in time travel, everything breaks.
Time travel is like the inevitable franchise breaker.
Yes,
exactly.
And you heard it here first. Maybe. Anyway.
I don't think it's over. We're going to get another one. But mark it. I'll bet.
We're calling it right now.
Yeah, we're calling it right now.
We're calling it.
Tom Cruise is in negotiations with Elon Musk to get one of his rockets right now. That's when he'll do
There
the
we
night.
go.
Or
The
he's
rocket scene outer
using-
space.
In space, yep.
There we go.
That's how he time travels.
Yes, and he's using Elon to design an actual dangerous AI so he can fight it in real time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Or he's waiting till he finds aliens.
Anyway, guys, if you liked our bantering, then hit that subscribe button. We got more. And the like button and the notification bell so you know when we have more bantering to give your ears. Let us know down in the comments below what you think of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Do you agree with us? It's a good movie, has its flaws, or if you thought it was absolutely outstanding, or if you thought it was absolute garbage. Let us know in the comments below. And until next time,
Keep it nerdy.
Keep it nerdy.